Ooh-wee, man. I didn't get a chance to watch this game, but I got a chance to go back, watch highlights. And first off, this Kansas Jayhawk team was not bad to begin with. So Colorado Buffs get dropped by the Kansas Jayhawks. Some folks may be shocked by it because of Kansas' record. But if you take out the record and you watch Kansas play, you understand that this is not a bad Kansas team. I know it's not a bad Kansas team from a couple years ago. Daniels played Arkansas in the bowl game. They took Arkansas down to the wire. If I'm not mistaken, I think the game went into overtime. But Daniels is a baller. Neal is a baller. This is not a bad ball club. Their record may not show it, but Kansas is not a bad team. So going into this game, I didn't think Colorado would blow this team out whatsoever, but I didn't think Colorado would lose. But Kansas just came out and showed you. I mean, you come out, you play like you ain't got nothing to lose, and anything can happen. 37-21 over the Colorado Buffs. Number 16 Colorado Buffs. So just looking at stats, Shedeur Sanders, 23 of 29. You could not play much better. You couldn't. 23 of 29. 266 passing yards. 3 TDs, no interceptions. A QBR rating of 93. Then you go to the other side. Look what Jalen Daniels did. 14 of 21. 189 passing. 1 TD. QBR rating of 91.8. He's not a bad guy. Not a bad quarterback whatsoever. Now go rushing wise. This is what gets Colorado in trouble. And maybe I understand what happened. They got down quick. So now they gotta begin to start putting the ball in the air. They only ran the ball 12 times. I'll tell anybody, you're not gonna win very many games if you can't establish the run. And I tell you this because watch. Colorado ran the ball 12 times for a total of 43 yards. Had 4 carries for 26. Your main running back only had 2 carries. Augustal, 2 for 11. He averaged 5.5 yards a carry while I keep running the ball. Hayden, 4 carries for 5 yards. Welch, 2 for 1 for a total of 43 yards, no touchdowns. Longest run was 17 by Shedeur. Cool. Go to the other side. Kansas. They rushed the ball a total of 55 times. Evan Neal could not be stopped. 37 carries, 207 yards, 3 TDs. He was averaging 5.6 yards a carry. That means every 2 carries he had a first down. You love it. Jalen Daniels is also a runner. 6 carries, 72 yards. 31 was his longest. 47 was Neal's longest. Morris, 11 carries, 47 yards. 15 was his longest. Graham, 1 carry, 7 yards. 7 yards was his longest. They carried the ball a total of 55 times. Yeah, Neal couldn't be stopped. He carried it 37 times. Why quit feeding the horse if he's chucking them? Ain't no need to. Keep feeding the horse. They couldn't stop him all night long. Could not stop him. All right. The offensive line for Colorado, suspect. But guess what? They only gave up 1 sack. They did have 6 tackles for losses. And the same thing on the other side. Kansas had 1 sack and 6 tackles for losses. So Colorado both had sacks and losses the exact same. But Kansas had 4 pass breakups. Colorado only had 1 pass breakup. As a team, listen to this. As a team, Colorado had a total of 85 tackles. Guess what Kansas did? Kansas had a total of 44. So that tells you who was on the field a whole lot more. Kansas was. And Kansas was taking advantage of the opportunity on being on the field. Kick returning, you had 43 was the longest, Isaiah Hodges. 62 was the longest for Wilson. 26 was his longest. He averaged 62 that game. So over there in the conference of the Big 12, I know folks like, oh man, they got a loss, they got this, they got that. Colorado is still 4th in the conference, behind Arizona State, BYU, and Iowa State. So they're not looking bad. Are they hopes of making are there hopes of making the college football playoffs gone? I think so. Because the good thing about this is Kansas State, Nebraska, and now Kansas. Kansas is still below Colorado. All right, so they're only 4-4, 5-6 in conference. Colorado's 8-3 in conference, 6-2 in conference, 8-3 overall, and Kansas is 4-4 in conference, 5-6 overall. So, if for Colorado to make the Big 12 championship, he gonna have to have some teams above him lose. So, if Kansas can go and upset a team next week, if Iowa State can lose, BYU lose, and Arizona State lose, Colorado can get back up there. Are they gonna make the playoffs? I don't know. Colorado just didn't look comfortable. It's like they couldn't get comfortable. They scored nothing in the first quarter, 14 in the second, 7 in the third, 0 in the fourth. KU, 10 in the first, 13 in the second, 7 in the third, 7 in the fourth. They scored every quarter they scored. Okay, now let's go check out team stats. Let's check out what they do with penalties and all of that. Penalty yards. Colorado, 8 for 65. Not going to help you in the win column. And Kansas only had 5 for 35. So there you go. Possession of time. Colorado. This is the kicker. Colorado only had the ball 19 minutes and 49 seconds. Kansas, 40. There you go. There go your ball game. Kansas controlled the ball. Kansas kept the ball away from Colorado, as you need to do. We all understand how explosive their offense is and things like that. So you want to keep the ball out of their hands, run the ball, which they did, control the line of scrimmage. I tell you guys in these videos all the time, control the line of scrimmage, and most likely the outcome will be a lot different. Travis Hunter did Travis Hunter things. 8 for 125, 2 TDs. You're not going to stop him. You only hold to container, and you hope you can do that too. The boys are ballers. Neal had 4 for 80. So Neal was just doing it all on the offensive side. Neal was just doing it all, running the ball, catching the ball, just doing it all, man. Kansas is just a better team today. Kansas record may not show it, but Kansas is not a bad ball club. I knew this coming in this game. I knew this from a couple years ago that this offense is dangerous. This quarterback and running back duo is dangerous. It reminds me a lot of Pat White and Steve Slayton back over there in West Virginia. Just saying. But Colorado, man, we gotta wait and see what happens. And we're gonna see what's going on, man. We're gonna see where they're dropping to, where they're going, and what it's looking like for them in the playoffs. So, hey, Kansas Jayhawks beat Colorado Buffs 21-37, Kansas.